Welcome to the Army Empire Podcast, your go-to podcast for insightful tips on investment strategies, entrepreneurship, and all things money matters. Join Bernard Alerte, your guide on this journey to financial freedom. Each episode will dive into expert advice, practical strategies, and inspiring stories to help you take control of your financial future. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur or a seasoned investor, we've got something for everyone. So get ready to unlock your financial potential and make your money work for you. And now, let's welcome your host, Bernard Aileen.
We're back.
Hi, Liz. Hello. How are you doing?
We have a guest today, Bernard.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have my wife, Aileen Alerte, on. She's always in the backstage running, make sure everything's correct, line everything's like that, everything is run correctly. So we have in the forefront because we have very interesting. It's crazy because I was thinking about one of my someone told me like they want to ask questions about my wife has questions, my husband. So we used to do like a luncheons back in the pandemic, like luncheon, right? And we used to talk, and we had a marriage. We did it once actually, marriage and money. We went live, and it got so much feedback, but we never did another one again since. So we had to get back. So you
got to keep the momentum. You have to keep the momentum.
Exactly, especially around this time, and especially going to the new year. We want people to have the right mindset tonight. So I'm excited to have Aileen on. I'm nervous. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope I'm in trouble.
Okay.
It's excited. But we're excited to have her on, and it's going to be very good today.
Yes, the missus is here, and we're talking all things marriage and money. We always start by saying, don't forget to share, to comment, to like. This is the most important thing, that you share us with your friends and your family members so that they too can learn and get the knowledge when it comes to financial coaching and everything that Bernard teaches us here at the Army Empire Podcast. So here we go. We got 20 minutes. Let's do this. Marriage and
money. Set up your financial household. Yes. And it's for a couple of reasons. People ask, well, who should benefit from this? There's three kinds of people that benefit from this. Number one is someone that's married already, right? Mm-hmm. That wants to get better. Someone that's in a process of getting married, or you're engaged in a process of getting married, or in a really committed relationship, or someone that's single, that wants to know the pitfalls, kind of what to do. Let's say when they meet that special someone.
Be prepared.
Exactly. Yes. Be prepared for that.
Okay, so we're going to learn that here. Somebody said, here we got Derwin. He says, who's the young couple? Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching. All right, so setting up your financial household. So
yes, absolutely.
Let's get into this bad boy.
Yes. Everyone looks forward to the honeymoon. It's a lot of times, sometimes when people are getting married, everyone looks forward to the honeymoon, but what about the money moon? It's like when the wedding is over, and that's the thing I've seen happen so many times with couples over the years, doing this for so many years, that we come across sometimes as people think about the wedding, right? Think about how much energy, think about how much research, when they make sure every detail, and it's like months in advance.
We just had one in May. Our daughter got married.
Yes.
It was months.
How long was that planning? That
was a year, and my first daughter was 2 years of planning.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So a lot of people sometimes is they spend more time planning for the wedding, but not for the marriage.
For the marriage,
which is so important, especially in the financial part. And I've come across so many times over the years when I've sat down with families, helping them out. I found there's like a major sometimes disconnect between couples. I'm like, didn't you guys talk about it? Like, it's like
were these topics before you even decided to commit a lifetime?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big time.
It's so true, because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's such a disconnect between a husband and a wife, and that creates a lot of problems if you think about it. Most unfortunate divorces that happens because of money challenges sometimes, right? So because listen, you could be you're love with someone, that's great, but life, you have to deal with life, and you have to be yoked, not only yoked spiritually as a couple, yoked also financially as a couple. because when there's like a very disconnect or lack of knowledge, it creates a lot of challenges, unfortunately. You know,
So good.
absolutely.
Next slide.
Yes.
Ooh, this is good.
Learn the do's and don'ts. Okay. One of the you have to break your bad debt habits, right? See, there's one thing having one person's debt, but imagine having a couple's debt put together. That makes it kind of worse. So we have to be very aware about debt habits that you have, and you have to ask those questions sometimes early enough.
No, you
right?
have to in the beginning when you're in the courtship. You can't be surprised after you made that commitment of getting engaged, right? You have to ask those hard questions. I mean, this is the person you love and you're going to be with for the rest of your life. This is your best friend. Best friends know each other's business, even girlfriends. We know each other's business. So why can't you be transparent with the person you're going to stay with the rest of your life? It's important. And you have to be bold about it. You have to be encouraged. You know, it's hey, when we were coming into the marriage, we're blended family, and it was like, babe, you know, like how much debt do you have total? Like I have my, you know, I'm almost done with mine. What's up with yours? Well, he had a business prior, so it was like, you know, business and personal, and we had to have those hard talks like, okay, so we can't enter this marriage with debt. Thank God we weren't in debt, but we had to talk about it.
Yeah,
because what we did, that means we have to take care of each other's debt as a whole, holistically.
Yes. So if I'm paying tuition for a son and now I'm married, now he needs to know, hey, this is what's happening. There's a lot of things. Starlin says, yes, this is very true. It's even happened to her. And
absolutely.
It happens.
You just don't marry the person. You marry everything. Everything comes with their everything. Their credit score comes with that. Their money consciousness come with that. So all these things are important. So you have to make sure. But let's say someone's right now, they're married. So you have to make a decision. You have to break some bad debt habits, right? Second, don't live beyond your means. Don't live beyond your means. I think so many people are trying to get validation. Listen, I know it sounds very powerful. A lot of people spend money they don't have to impress people they don't like. It's the craziest thing that happens, right?
That's a Facebook post right there.
Exactly, right? So it's like, don't live beyond your means. No, kind of get on a budget. Kind of don't do to impress people, right? It's
trying to live up to the Joneses.
Live with the Joneses, and this person has this, and it creates problem because it's going to create stress later on, and you don't want to do that, you know. And the third one, you have to communicate honestly about your spending habits. You have to want to communicate, be open. And this is such a very controversial topic, especially in marriage. And a lot of people sometimes they don't like it. This out of all the topics we talk about, Liz, this is the most controversial topic.
I make my money and I want to do what I want with my money, and you do what you like. Your money's my money, but my money's my money. It's topic too. It's sensitive because in the beginning, whether you're starting, you know, young or blended family, or it takes a transition. It's a transition, and you have to understand it's uncomfortable because before he has his own accounts, I had my own accounts, and I had my ex-husband would give me child support, and it's like I did what I want with my money with the kids, and he understood that money is for my kids and their needs, but he has to take care of me. You know, so it was like, oh, okay, so then what are your needs? You know, what did you need? And then I'm like, Bernard, what do you need? And then I don't want to get into the next slide, but let's continue. Okay.
But you have to communicate honestly about spending habits, and that's something so important. You have to be very transparent, and especially when it comes to a lot of different things, because you that's one thing we wanted to do. We made a decision that we're going to be very open, right? Like she has access to my accounts. I don't have and some people do. Some people very private, and that's a personal choice that they make. But she has access because I want to be totally transparent of that, because there's something that's very, very controversial. There's something called also financial. How can I say that in a nice word? There's called financial infidelity. that's real. It's real. Not knowing, and that's so important to be able to you have to be very honest about spending habits. And it's everything's in line. The last one is don't abuse credit. Don't abuse your credit. Don't make sure you because that affects so many things you do as a couple. You know, getting a home together. If you want to get a home together, planning getting a home together, even getting an apartment, and things like that. So we have to be very careful. Now, does that mean if someone caveat doesn't mean if someone has maybe have made some bad choices, doesn't mean they're bad people. It's just we make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all make mistakes, and that happens to so many people. But make sure that the person's trying to rectify it. Okay, say okay. We got in this. I got in a situation because I didn't know, because of maybe something happened. Because that happens to people. Sometimes maybe they lose. That happens so many times, right? But
like we've known each other for what, 27 years?
Mm-hmm.
We've been married for 12 or 13?
13
no.
years. We feel like it's so long.
Sophia is 13,
Yeah.
so 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
12 years, right? But before that, you know, we lived financial different lives.
Mm-hmm.
And when we came together, it was like, okay, I had good credit and Bernard didn't. And it wasn't because he was being like, it was because he didn't know certain things. He wasn't taught.
I didn't pay attention a lot. I'll be honest with you. What happened to me, and I'm very transparent. I was so busy running the business, I didn't pay attention to like other personal things that was happening.
Like
because I was
being late.
And it was silly things that was happening.
It was silly things.
It was silly things that happened. And guess what? We fixed it, and we got together. So you know what? We fixed it. And that's the good part. We fixed it. And now I
was like, you gotta fix it, because we're in the future gonna buy a home, and we can't buy one if we don't fix that
challenge. Yes.
Yeah, and it's true. It's true what I heard a minute ago. You can't even get an apartment if
you can't get anything.
Apartment.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge. And again, like I was saying, a lot of people make mistakes. That doesn't mean the person is bad, but you have to be honest and fix it. The key is you have to, okay, you know what? I made a mistake, but I'm working towards fixing it. In other words, right? As long as you work towards fixing it, that's great.
Look, this slide right here, if you're on your phone, go ahead and snapshot that slide right there, because there is just so many gold nuggets right there. This is the key of what we're talking about here with money and marriage. Woo, so good.
Absolutely. Now let's look at, there's different wants and needs, right? And you have to identify, and sometimes it's different between couples, because someone like what somebody wants might be like, okay, I want this versus we need this. Okay. And
I may think that is not a babe, that's not a need, that's a want. And to him, it's a need. Like, for example, a membership. To me, 2 memberships is like, why you need 2 membership? But he explained to me that one place didn't have the equipment that he needed to take care of himself health-wise. And the other one was like a basic, like he'll go to it, like spend an hour and whatever. I had to listen to his needs and wants and understand why. You know, in my husband's family, it's very important, like heart disease. So my husband he's been in the gym working out since the age of what, 15?
16, yeah.
16.
And I like that. A week. So you're saying that it's not just that he wants to be a papi chulo and stuff. This is that there is heart disease in the family. So that's why it's not a want, it's a need for him. That's wild.
Absolutely.
And I had to understand that. In my head, I'm like, that's waste. I'm the one like combine and just go to one place. And I said, you know what? That is a need for him. And I have to understand that.
And we're different, and we have different, how can I say, different ways. Listen, my wife, a sport for her, if she saves like $5 or $10 on something, she's like, oh my God, that's like a win for her. She loves, oh my gosh, she's a win. I'm like she'll get coupon. Let's get the coupon, go to CV. I'm like, I'm not walking with coupon. I'm not doing.
He won't.
And I'm a little different. I'll be honest with you. I'm a kind of person that's convenience sometimes. Where I'm a kind of person. If I get enough fly on the plane, I can't. One thing, it's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like I like to go in first in the plane. Just it's convenient, right? I want to find a way to get in, and that's just me. So I'll pay $50, $60 extra. I get to get more further to the front. So I can get in first. That's just me. It's a pet. Hers like I don't care, but it's just
I'm
to
like,
me.
that is a gas tank. That's gas.
But she calculates these things. She calculates these things, right? And I'm like, babe, I'm not, like I'll go and that's just me. I'm a big tipper, right? And that's me. And the reason I'm this way, and it's not she's not saying
I love to bless people.
She's very frugal. She's very frugal, right?
But a blessing. That's a blessing to be frugal.
Because I used to work in a bar back. I used to work in a bar back where I was working minimum wage when I was younger. So I know a lot of people live on tips. So I'll go and sometimes I'll a little more than usually.
Like I'll tip 5. He'll tip 20.
That's me, and but you know what?
I understand though.
But we respect each other.
Mm-hmm.
We respect each other for that, right? And another thing also when getting something is listen. I love shoes. Everyone that knows me, I love shoes. I get different kinds of shoes. That's just me. But that's just me.
A lot about Bernard today.
Who's the spender and who's the saver?
That's just me. But at the same time, I'm very. I'll get nice, but I want to pay anything full price. I won't pay anything full price. I'll be careful. See, I'm very in control. So okay, I might see something. This is good. This is nice. I could do, but I want to get it. Why? Because I'm thinking also respecting her.
And
at the same also thoughtful, respecting her. So those are the things that are important that I see sometimes in couples. Like, I want to get this. It's my money. I get no, but I respect her wish. And I'll tell you, if I get something like big, let's listen. Hey, I'm thinking of getting this, and we talk about it. So communication is very important. Very important when it comes to that. So that's just kind of some of the things that to be careful with. Yes,
that's so
be careful. Good. Traveling. Traveling is very important. I mean, listen, I like to travel. We personally made a choice. We're fortunate enough. A lot of company pay for all expenses trade for a lot of us a lot of times. So I kind of use that twice a year. So we use that as a family to go on trips. You know, there's a lot of people. Listen, there's a lot of people they go travel. Here's the way I look at it. There's a lot of people they go. If you go on a travel, and if you need to travel, and I'm gonna say something very contrary. If you're gonna travel and you're gonna do it on credit cards, and you're gonna be stressed out when you come back, how am I gonna pay for this trip? Don't go.
You should not have it even booked.
Don't go. Because I know people, they'll travel and
put pictures
for the gram,
post.
click for the gram, right? Hey, and you going there stressed out and using credit card, and you're still paying for the trip. You're still paying for the trip 2 years later,
20 years later,
right? And it pops up on your memories, right? Like, oh, I'm still paying for the trip. I'm still paying for the credit card for the trip. It's not necessary. And
not a vacation.
Those are the things that I see some major challenge between couples is the disconnect communication wise versus a lot of those challenges, you know?
Mm-hmm. Listen, this slide right here, can we stay here for a little longer? We're going to pick. Lori is like, you are speaking to her. She's like, she needed that and she loves it. So we're speaking.
Listen, we're not saying not to go on vacation.
Enjoy.
It's saying plan so that you can enjoy. When your kid says, I want to go on, like when we went one time to the Bahamas, they went jet skiing, they went parasailing, everything that was there to do in the beach, they did it. And we did not hesitate.
Yes. And we never use credit cards. We never use any credit card. Every time we're on a trip, we paid that. You know, if we use it for fun, we paid it right back when we got back. We never had, and because we believe in that, because we want to. Worst thing though, you're on vacation and you're thinking stressed out. Oh my gosh, and what's gonna happen? So sometimes you just gotta be wise about certain things, you know, and be thoughtful to each other and put your financial future together before anything else.
Plan it together. Talk it out. Negotiate. Compromise. Yeah. You know, let something that it can't be all about you. You have to give your husband that want too, mm-hmm. You know?
Sure. We got to do a part 2.
Yes, yeah. Absolutely. Definitely.
We got to do a part 2. We can stay on that slide, just talking about planning family vacations, mm-hmm. Planning accordingly. Planning all those things, we have to pick up right there where it says wants versus needs. We're talking about money and marriage, marriage and money with Aileen and Bernard. Yes. Today, this has been crazy. It's already been 20 minutes, and I can't even believe just everything that we've learned already with just the rules of speaking to each other, making sure there's that communication starting from the courtship. This is stuff that we now can teach our daughters because we're learning this now.
Yes.
You know,
It's very important. It's very important.
It's wild.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've taught my girls also that like we have 2 trips a year, and it's one with the family and one with us, and they know that. So they're like, which one are we going on with you? And they know that one of them is for me, our time, and the family time, because you need to build that time. The life is busy. Sometimes you don't get to talk because you're trying to hustle and build a business, or be a good employee, and it's just, you need that time, because that's the time you plan. That's the time.
Absolutely.
And there's no interruptions. There's the time that you can share those visions and know your wants and your needs and all that stuff.
And I get to chase around. I get to chase around the room too, so that's cool. That's fun.
We're picking up right here where we left off. Eileen, you're going to come back next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. There is a part 2 to this, money and marriage, here at the Army Empire podcast. You do not want to miss it. You already got the little appetizer. Join us next week. Share it with your friends and let them know that this is going to get even better, because these guys, they're not playing around. They're being really transparent here, and they're sharing the goods on
Absolutely.
and make money work. Make money work for us. This is great information. Yes. For the future couples, absolutely, to know. And like Lori said, also, these are great topics. Guys, contact Bernard. The email address is on the screen. You can comment later, whether you're watching now live or if you're watching the replay, and they will gladly answer your questions. We'll see you guys next week. We'll see you next week, Eileen.
We'll see you next week. Yes.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Army Empire podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. Join us next week for another exciting edition, and until then, keep building your empire.